I can see myself. Hey guys, David here bringing you guys another review, and this time I'll be taking a look at the new Zombieland TV show. Yeah, it's real. It's been 4 years since the movie, and ever since about maybe 2 years ago, the writers, can't remember their names, but the writers of the original movie have been trying really hard to get a show going. I can't remember if there were any networks that were actually willing to pick it up, but finally, guess who it went to? Amazon. If you've been under a rock, you know that now Amazon offers original TV programming. I don't know why they call it TV, since it's technically not TV, it's online streaming. But Zombieland happens to be one of my favorite zombie movies and comedy movies of all time, so I thought I would go ahead and watch the show. So like the majority of us, I felt anguish when I watched the teaser trailer for the new Zombieland TV series. Like, the whole commercial made it seem like the show was nothing more of a parody of the original movie, so it felt like they just completely took a dump on it. And it broke my heart even more to know that the original writers of Zombieland were writing the pilot. Now here we are, the pilot is now available free on Amazon, and I will be talking about some spoilers regarding to the pilot, so if you guys have not seen the pilot for the new Zombieland TV show, check it out in the link below. I'm gonna put it in the description. It's free to watch, so go watch that, then come back and watch this video. It's only 30 minutes long, so just watch it, come back, and we could gladly talk about this thing together. First and foremost, what did I think about it? Actually, it's not that bad. I'm not saying good, it's just not that bad. Remember back in the 90s, we had the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies, you know, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves. And then later on in the late 90s, early 2000s, Disney, or probably ABC, it was more than likely ABC, decided to create a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV series. And it had that kookiness that, I mean, I'm not saying that the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies weren't kooky, but it had this level of kookiness that was only meant for television and to appeal anybody who watched television, which we all know is probably the majority of the family. This genuinely feels like a dumbed down version of Zombieland, which kind of is a really weird dichotomy, considering that we still have blood, we still have gore, we still have F-bombs, and we still have some suggestive themes that TV show wouldn't really touch upon that much. Now let me talk about some of the easy stuff first. Before I get to the characters and the actors who play them, let's just talk about the story. Almost the entire 30 minutes of the pilot episode concentrates on our 4 protagonists from the end of Zombieland: Tallahassee, Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock, all trying to simply just find more people so that they can hopefully build some sort of community and thrive, because let's face it, Zombieland gets pretty lonely. The movie made it seem like all kinds of fun, especially with Woody Harrelson in the mix, but here they say, yeah, you know what, we had our fun, now we want to really live. So the entire 30 minutes is them going from point A to point B trying to look for more survivors. And of course there's this running gag that every time they run into a survivor, they get killed. One thing that I did like about that is the fact that whenever they interacted with another character that we've never seen before, they acted in a way that was very fresh. I mean, Walking Dead just ended. Every time a new character introduced with some of our returning old characters in that show, what's the first thing that they would do? Pull out their guns and pull out their knives. Here, they literally go up to each other and say, hey, what's your name? My name is this. So it was a breath of fresh air to see that. And it stays in place with the tongue-in-cheek tone that Zombieland, the original movie, and now this TV show has. Now, right off the bat, within the first 5 minutes, they introduced this new character who's not really a character, it's just a voice named Detroit, because obviously they retain the original rules. No names, just, you know, you're named after the city that you come from. So there's this lady named Detroit that guides them through a global positioning system, or whatever. And every time she finds a new survivor, she points them out and tells them, hey, go there. Like those levels in, you know, Call of Duty Black Ops, where you have to direct those people via the plane out in space. She does that. And all she is a voice, but that's not a major complaint considering the fact that this is a TV series. One thing that I like about this being a TV series is that there's so many, you know, some flaws here in this pilot that I'll get to more in a second, but this being a TV series grants them the very fortunate and very lucky opportunity to be able to correct these flaws should this TV series be picked up for more episodes. So one that I would really like to have explored is, who's Detroit? How did they meet her? Columbus kind of goes over it very, very quickly, but I want to see more detail into that, and maybe eventually even, you know, meet her face to face. Speaking of stuff that has happened since the end of Zombieland, nothing really big has happened with our characters. They all pretty much act the same, or at least in terms of the writing, But the only major difference, in fact this is probably the biggest difference, is that Wichita and Columbus have broken up. And in a very strange way that I'm hoping that there's, again, going back to this, the opportunity of fixing its flaws, is that I'm hoping they explore more as to why Wichita and Columbus break up, because the way they show it in this pilot is kind of goofy and just doesn't make sense. I mean, they totally look like they were gonna hook up at, towards the end of Zombieland, so I have no idea why Wichita is acting like, oh, we were technically never dating. You almost did it in Zombieland. And when I say did it, I mean did it, not just dating. Other than that, the arcs for characters have remained the same, but what has not remained the same, the actors. For immensely obvious reasons, they couldn't get the actors, so of course we had replacement actors to take over for those roles. How did they do? Well, let's go off the list. Number one, I think we should tackle the elephant in the room. Don't know his name. I don't know any of these guys' names. I know I should have looked them up prior to this review. I'll go ahead and just put their name right here on the screen, because I cannot remember their names. But the guy who played Tallahassee taking over Woody Harrelson. Some time ago they announced that this guy was going to be playing Tallahassee, and when I saw a picture of him I said, he kind of has some facial features that Woody Harrelson carries over. Just shave his hair, maybe, get fit a little bit because he's a little big. But other than that, I think he could I think maybe he could pull it off. I haven't exactly seen him in any other stuff. But I was kind of really bummed out, especially in that trailer when they showed him doing nothing but just eating, still having his hair, not bald or shaved off like Woody Harrelson had it, but full head of hair, and he looked like this bit of a bumbling idiot doing nothing but licking his fingers. And that's where I was on the verge of giving up hope. Fortunately, the guy brought, Tallahassee. I'm not gonna say he brought Tallahassee into his, his own version of Tallahassee. I mean, half of it is what the writers intended, which is obviously what the writers intended in the first place when Woody Harrelson was playing him. Here, however, obviously that, it's almost obvious that he doesn't want to take over Woody Harrelson. So instead, he does his own thing while at the same time maybe borrowing a couple of things from Woody Harrelson. A good example is just the way he freaks out, or like he puts it, loses his shit. But other than that, like I said earlier about this TV show in general, it's like the dumbed down version of the movie. And the same thing could be said about his performance. Fortunately, by the end of the episode, he won me over. He delivered this really great metaphor that he told Columbus about, spending a good 5 minutes on Earth like it was your last. It was a moment like that where I said, that's a Zombieland moment. I'm starting to get a little hooked here. Speaking of Columbus, the guy who played Columbus, don't know his name right here, I thought he was actually kind of good. I liked it when he had his inner monologue going, and I bought it. But much like Woody Harrelson, there was a gigantic flaw, and that is the fact that this guy, there were moments, not the entire TV show, which is kind of weird, I felt like it was edited a little bit weird, but there were certain moments, maybe 2 or 3, where he was trying really hard to, convey his inner Jesse Eisenberg. To the point where he makes those, fidgeting faces, and he cracks his voice on purpose. It's funny, I can't crack my voice on purpose, but when I try not to, it just comes out. Girl who plays Wichita, I thought she was actually kind of alright, but there were moments, again, almost every character here, or at least every actor who's playing these, our 4 main protagonists, has some sort of flaw, but at the same time has some sort of redeeming quality. And again, plenty of opportunities to fix this in future episodes should this get picked up. But the girl who played Wichita, I thought she was alright, except there were moments where she reminded me of a Disney girl. Hannah Montana, or, Vanessa Hudgens, or whatever, there were moments where the way they were acting was typical by the numbers, teen angst. And let's not forget Little Rock. Little girl taking over Abigail Breslin. She literally has like, I think, 5 lines in the entire pilot. And one of them is a clear, throwaway gag of, oh hey, a little kid saying fuck. And on top of that, her entire character is pretty much wasted. She does almost nothing in this episode. I can't remember anything that she did in the entire thing. Again, hopefully they give her something to do in future episodes. So what I'm trying to say is that fortunately I was not left rolling my eyes hoping this thing would die, because I'm actually genuinely intrigued in watching another episode of Zombieland. Now, is it the first thing on my list of TV shows to watch? No. But it had its redeeming qualities as well as its moments where it genuinely felt like a Zombieland expansion, to the point where you can even close your eyes and you can hear and you could feel Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin right there in front of you, interacting with each other as their characters and actually have a good time. Still, plenty of room for improvement. So I'm going to go ahead and give the pilot to the Zombieland TV show, again, I don't know what they call it, TV show, it's online streaming, a 7.6 out of 10, which is a C. So what do you guys think of the pilot, if you guys have already seen it? If you have not seen it, then I guess I could recommend it. And if you liked it enough, go ahead and, you know, give it 3 or 4 stars, write a good review. Based on those, they will determine whether or not this is going to get picked up for a full season, as well as their other TV pilots. I haven't exactly checked them out, but I think they have like 13 other pilots, and you know, whichever one gets the most ratings, the higher ratings, the better reviews, it will get picked up. So check that out if you haven't already, and if you have, did you leave a review? What kind of review? What kind of, you know, 3-star, 4-star rating system or whatever it is that they have? And I thank you guys for watching. Take care.